Welcome back for another video. It's Eharbad, and in today's video, we actually have to do this summon rush. As I mentioned on stream yesterday, I am going for the Urgir fusion, mostly because I try and collect interesting passives when I can. I have the resources to be able to do it, and therefore, I think it's in my best interest in the long run to do it. Essentially, it is frustrating when we look at the what do you call it? Not daily login rewards. When we look at the schedule, it's been widely mentioned already. We can't miss anything. The actual arrangement of events is kind of annoying. It's not as bad as it could have been because we do get Dungeon Divers 2 overlapping with CVC. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, we also get the Artifact Enhancement 2 is overlapping with CVC. So I'll be able to kind of get decent CVC points there. In terms of tournaments, we've also got Ice Golem. So Ice Golem stage 10 will give me good points for CVC, along with Artifact Enhancement and Dungeon Divers. So basically, I want to make sure that I get the champion training event done. I mean, it technically does overlap with CVC as well, so you could do tavern work towards the end. But we also have champion training tournament overlapping with CVC anyway. So, there's a lot of opportunity to get CVC points during fusion itself. Anyway, back to the matter at hand. It is the summon rush. Obviously, we need to get to 3620 on just to get the fragments. But I'm actually eyeing up these two legendary books and these two mythical tomes. It's probably one of the better ways for me to be able to get mythical tomes. I do have enough shards to do it. And my rationale, at least my thoughts, are that I need, roughly seven sacreds to get here. And then I need, another 3,000, so another 6. So for an extra 6 sacreds, I can pick up 2 legendary tomes and 2 mythical tomes. It's probably worth it. I don't care about the feast. I know it's only an extra single sacred. Obviously, marginal cost is reasonably attractive, but I really don't care about the feast at all. So I'll probably try and get this 6,900 mythical tome here. I have got 310 points already for mystery shards for champion training. Let's say I'll do another 90 to get that 400, leaving me 6,500 that I need to get, which is 13 sacreds. So I think I can go ahead and do that. I won't bother with any of the other shards during a summon rush. Sacred is the most optimum. In terms of which champions to pick, the only one I actually really want here is Necmo. I have every champion in this selection, but a second Necmo would be fantastic, to be honest. I'd really like to have a second Necmo. Would make getting high damage in Hydra all the easier. Otherwise, I do have 3 copies of Staltus already, so maybe picking up a 4th wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. I could potentially consider +2ing one of the Staltuses, or in the future anyway. Initially, for now, I'll just continue to do my Faction Guardians, but at least it gives me a potential future avenue to be able to empower champion, because I haven't empowered anyone yet. Theodore, I do have 2 copies of. Less interested to get empowerment potential on Theodore, although, very strong for certain solo strats. I can currently solo Dragon 8, and maybe if I did have an empowered Theodore, maybe if I did live arena, I could maybe, push that a little bit higher. But stage 8's decent already. And the only one really here, the other interesting one would be, I do have 2 Cantras built already. maybe getting a third one for Hydra would be interesting. Ideally, I'd have just picked Necmo 3 times, but it doesn't let you do that. Let's just very quickly check on Cantrip, because do I have an unbuilt one? No, I don't. So I have two. I use two in Hydra. Getting a third would be a possibility. So we're going to go for it. This is my first time ever doing this progressive summoning. It's the first time, obviously, it's been out in the game. so obviously, it's the first time I've done it. But what do I think about it overall? So for me, it's basically a flat 15x. The probability of me ever being in a position where I'm triggering 20 and 25 is quite low. So I'm not really considering that aspect in my own gameplay. As I say, Nubkex actually raised a very interesting point, which is that there is a certain element of this kind of mechanic, not just say, like when I first looked at it, I was thinking, oh, they're just degrading the quality for the majority of people. It's not really a 25x. For most people, it's a 15x. But through sunk cost fallacy, you could definitely see situations where people, if they don't get the champion they want and they've hit the legendary and then they're at the 20 or the 25, that they are more likely to chase the losers, if you will, and throw good money after bad kind of thing. And that is problematic. I think, and this, I haven't checked it, I probably should have, but I think progressive slot machines are the most profitable for the casino operator of all the slot machines. I have a vague recollection of that being the case. And so you can see where they got inspiration for progressive chants from. And I think it's under the same rationale that the more you play, the more the machine entices you that your odds are getting enhanced and you should keep playing. Anyway, for me, because I thankfully I do have the discipline not to be throwing money after the game, but obviously I'm aware that isn't necessarily the case for everyone. But hopefully the people watching my videos are encouraged by what I'm able to show that you can do without spending vast sums of money in the game. And hopefully that will encourage people to have or be able to feel the mental fortitude to have that self-control and not succumb to the gambling addictions that this game propagates. Anyway, that disclaimer out the way, let's jump in and do the summons. 13 sacreds, hoping for a Necmo on this enhanced odds. If we think more generally, I'd love a second copy of Newt. I'd love a Harima or a Rotos. I don't have either Harima or Rotos on the account. I think those are the 4 champions, non-void, that I would most like. Second Necmo, second Newt, Harima, or Rotos. But I'm not really expecting anything. We maybe have a decent chance of getting 1 legendary from 13 shards. But yeah, who knows? Anyway, we're up to 20x on the epic apparently, even though we summoned one. I don't know. So I'm pretty sure I summoned Lady Annabelle was the first one, so that seems really weird. Like, why why would it be that I summon the one that I've picked and it still goes up? That's super weird. Anyway, third shard. It means I could get loads of copies of Lady Annabelle. I don't want loads of copies of Lady Annabelle. Anyway, 3 shards in, 4th one now. Like I said, hopefully we'll get 1 legendary out of all of this. I don't know if there's any non-void epics I don't have. Ideally, I suppose if we just get ones that would be useful in the Mikage fusion would be nice. I don't really want loads and loads and loads of copies of Lady Annabelle. So for me, that 25x maybe isn't doing what I really want it to do. I think if it enforces it, we do have one, and it's a dupe of Islin, who was the most recent fusion. Well, not most recent, but one of the recent fusions, who I did get. That's really disappointing. I was realistically, chances of getting 2 legendaries from 13 shards is extremely low. We did trigger it, but this is the point. It's like it's really just 15x, and it just doesn't. Yeah, it's not a great feeling, is it? And that's summoning for you. But you know, we should be grateful that we got gold at all. Having said that, I've now kind of lost track. I started on 66, so I've summoned 9. This is now the 10th shard. And we have a Dupe Zagala. We need 3 more. It's always chance we'll get another legendary, but again, I'm not banking on it. I find it better to come into these things without high expectations, and then you're less disappointed. But also, you know, I'm at that luxury position where I've got a good number of champions, and I don't really need I don't need any specific champions to do anything. But obviously, some would be preferable. Islin was not there. There we go. So we now have a little bit more on Faction Guardians. We've got an 8, a 6, 0, 4, 0, 4, 6, 0, 8, 4, 2, 6, 6, 4, and 0. Couple that we're quite close to getting that speed bonus. Demon Spawn would be fantastic, to be honest, to get that 10 speed. Huge number of champions that I use extensively in the game, and particularly in Arena. So hopefully we will, you know, hopefully we'll get a 4th Trexar just to be able to get that 10 speed. Anyway, it is what it is, right, guys? It is what it is. 90 more that I'll do through mystery shards the rest of today. I probably will use that energy, I think during CBC. I'm going to hold back that energy until then. We'll see. Obviously, we've got Dungeon Divers starting tomorrow, so I definitely would hold it until then. But realistically, I think it makes sense to keep it until CBC. I want to get another 4,500 roughly points. Pick up that legendary tome and the primal shard and the immortal soulstone. All 3 of these are reasonably good value overall. I'm getting a bit fatigued with champion training. I did so much of it when I was running the 2 accounts. I'm definitely feeling it a bit. They seem to be relentless with champion training, and as soon as we finish this one, we're straight into another. Oh, yeah. And then they usually throw one in between that either gives a skin or a soul or something. So they keep making me want to do them, but I'd rather be doing something else. You know, I have one other thing that I really want to say, and that is, unfortunately, the Dungeon Divers has already expired, the other one, which I'm pretty sure I did get the fragments from. At least I hope I did, otherwise I'm going to end up with 95. But what I would love them to do as a small tweak on Dungeon Divers, and I don't think there's any downside for them to do this, but give us Dungeon Divers points for Iron Twins. Give us Dungeon Divers points for Sand Devil and Phantom Bogans. Because it's so frustrating that you want to sometimes do this new content that they've added, Sand Devil, Phantom, and Iron Twins, but because of the way they've restructured the fusions where they're forcing us to do really high Dungeon Divers, we can't even go, oh, okay, I've finished the Spider tournament. I still need to do more Dungeon Divers. Okay, that's a good time for me to go and do some Sand Devil or Shogun. Or even I could do Iron Twins. You know, today I did 12 keys because it is Void Day. And it would be nice to think, yeah, I'm doing these dungeons. There's a Dungeon Divers going on. I'm putting my energy into the dungeons. Oh, wait, doesn't count. So it's kind of like they do the inflation on the tournament or the event rather, but they haven't added in the 3 new dungeons they've added to the game don't give you any points. It's such a small change that they could make, and it would be well received by the player base. It's an easy win. Like, it's just such an easy win for them, and it would make everyone a lot happier. Even the people that wouldn't participate in actually getting the dungeon divers through those sources, the fact that it's an option, everyone would appreciate that, I think. Anyway, that's my opinion. As always, if you don't agree, let me know. Anyway, thanks for watching. Please do like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.